All right, here we go. Hear, O Yashar'Al, the great I am, the great spirit, is the only power for you. The great I am, the great spirit is one. Speak peace on this day of rest. Rise, O Yashar'Al. Welcome to Word War 3. Our reference today will be Isaiah chapter 8, verse 19. This message is entitled Babylonian Talmudism and Necromancy. Now, to get started, the Babylonian Talmud is the source of all Jewish instruction on religious observations. Written during a time of European dominance over the lands formerly occupied by the true Hebrew Israelite tribes. In the Gemara, it relates Onkelos bar Kalonikos, who wants to convert to Mosaic Law. Now, this Onkelos is supposedly a nephew of a Roman emperor. Onkelos uses necromancy to conjure up Titus, his Edomite uncle, supposedly, Balaam, who is chosen to curse true Israelites, and Jesus of Nazareth. And you can see the Gittin 57 alpha or 57A for that. And making reference, Onkelos then went and raised Balaam from the grave through necromancy. And he asked, who are the people in control where you are in the afterlife? One more time. He's asking Balaam, who are the people in control where you are in the afterlife? Remember that. His response, the Jewish people. Now, folks, if you can remember, necromancy is forbidden in Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 9 through 12. Now, here's the three people mentioned. Number 1, Titus, Flavius, Caesar, Vespasianus, Augustus, the Roman emperor who destroyed the second Hebrew temple in Judea-Palestine. His punishment? Every day the Jewish people in the afterlife, meaning in death, they burn and scatter Titus's ashes. So Titus is never forgiven. Number 2, Balaam, son of Beor at Pethor, was a Moabite wizard who was asked to curse the children of Jacob Israel, leaving Egypt, which is in Africa, going into Judea-Palestine. Now again, these true Hebrew Israelites were leaving Africa. Ethiopia, Africa, Negro land, it's all meaning black stuff, black people, black inhabitants. Now, Balaam's punishment is being cooked in boiling semen for teaching lustful sin. Now, the third one, as referenced here, is Yeshu. And in commentary, they say that this is Jesus of Nazareth, according to the Ashkenazi Jewish religion. And he's known for mocking the sages of their unknown God. Now, again, I have to make reference to Judaism, Ashkenazi Judaism. They don't make use of the true name of God. So they gave you Jehovah, just like the Arabs give you Allah, which is the God. Well, the Jewish people gave you Jehovah, and Jehovah, it really signifies the name of God, meaning the God in the Moabite tongue and in the Samaritan tongue. But this is not the God of the Hebrews. The God of the Hebrews called himself I am, which is Ahaya. And he even told Moses to use this when you go speak to the children of Israel. Tell them that I am sent you. It's plain and simple. His full name is I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is his full name. But if you want to go to the book of Hosea, then you can look and see that he wants to be called Ishai, which is your caretaker, your husband, or your savior. That's what it means. And Hebrew is such a strong language that if you use it differently, you're gonna go wrong. So these people have taught that a foreigner has brought up Titus, Flavius, Vespasianus, Augustus, and the Jewish people are burning him in the afterlife. 2, they brought back up Balaam, and he is being cooked in boiling semen in a Jewish afterlife. And 3, the man you know as Jesus of Nazareth, you Christians who call upon him as your savior of the world, the Jewish religion is saying that he is being burned in what people would call shit, dung, excrement. This is their teaching. It's not coming from my lips. You can go to their website, their teachings and their books on this in the Babylonian Talmud. And again, they're teaching, and these Babylonian Talmuds were created 500 to 600 years after the Christ that we're speaking of right now, afterwards. Now, the true Hebrew historian is Josephus, and he says nothing negative about Jesus Christ or John the Baptist, 2 figures mentioned in the Holy Scriptures, or the New Testament. Some of you guys will make a reference to that name. Josephus, and I'm quoting, he goes on to say, now there was about this time Jesus, a wise man, if it be lawful to call him a man, for he was a doer of wonderful works, a teacher of such men as receive the truth with pleasure. And he also goes on to say that he was the Christ. So there's nothing negative that this so-called Jewish historian, because that's what they want to call him, Jewish, but he was a Hebrew historian. And he is saying nothing negative about the Christ. But then when you go 500 to 600 years later, you have the Jewish people using a Babylonian Talmud, which is footnotes and commentary on the Bible. They're using a necromancer to conjure up Jesus and give him a bad name. Let's go back just a little bit further into this Gittin 57, where you have the Roman emperor himself, Nero, is being quoted in the Babylonian Talmud. And he says the Romans are associated with Edom, the descendants of Esau. If I continue on this mission, I will eventually be punished for having served as God's agent to bring about destruction. So he fled and became a convert, and ultimately Rabbi Meir descended from him. This is the same Nero that blamed the Jews for burning Rome when he did it himself. And who descended from him? This Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Meir. And these are in their Jewish Ashkenazi Babylonian Talmud. This is something that I'm not saying this myself. You can check their references. 1, they saying that they're the Edomites. 2, a rabbi descended from this Nero, a Roman. 3, the Romans are Edomites. And 4, for you Christians, they saying that your Jesus is in their hell, burning in shit. Also, a little bit more on their Babylonian Talmud, that their God himself calls Titus the wicked one, son of a wicked one, grandson of Esau the wicked, for you are among his descendants and act just like him. I don't even have to be a bad guy in discussing this stuff. You can go directly to their sources and see what they say of themselves. I'm going to leave all the biblical references in there so that you can know the necromancy is against the law of Hebrew Israelites. Now, all the other stuff, all the other religious philosophy, and theology, all that you want to go to other sources and obey their ideologies, then you go right ahead. But being a Hebrew Israelite is totally different than being a Mohammedan, than being a Christian, and also being a Jewish observer of the Babylonian Talmud. I'm gonna end this conversation right here. This lecture is complete. I am a Hebrew Israelite. I am a conscientious objector and a minister in peace. A minister of peace. Hebrew Israelite out.